For today's video, we have the round 17 review for Supercoach 2021. It is a little late, apologies for that. I have an excuse though, I'll get to that in a second, but scored 2,570, ranked 1,350. That's bad considering I have my whole YouTube channel dedicated to this game, but not a disaster, but not great. Into rank, yeah, up 90 in the ranks, so I guess we take those sort of weeks. Got a little bit lucky with Bramble, I guess. Who we fielded. Traded Guthie just because it's pissed me off. Felt good to trade him. Like, I didn't even care that he scored well. Of course, he scores the best he has since the week up before I brought him in. That's just how the game works. You trade him out and they go back to normal. But yeah, bit of a pain in the ass, but that's okay. But yeah, basically had some sort of weird flu over the weekend, and then I hurt my back at work, and I was working through like a respiratory flu that's contagious. It's just sort of when I overwork myself, I get like physically shot, like really badly. So yeah, I was like laying in bed, scrolling through TikTok for like 8 hours. Was it Tuesday? No, Monday or Tuesday, Monday night, and then and Tuesday night as well, because my back was stuffed and my body was shot. But I'm all good to go now. But what was interesting is I never had TikTok before. I just installed it, and it's got like at the top it says following and it says for you. I ain't never followed anyone. I just installed the app. That was it. Started scrolling. One of the first things that pops up is some girl dancing or frothing over Bailey Smith. I don't know how that got recommended to me. That has freaked me out though, because I don't know if it's linked to Instagram or something, but I don't know. That kind of just freaked me out. But I don't know why. I couldn't move because of my back in bed. So I was like, I had just scrolling through my phone for 8 hours. So feeling better now. That's my life story. Yeah, so we have 3 trades left. I don't even remember what happened on the weekend, but we'll go through it quickly because I guess it's round's sort of over. We traded Guthrie to Dangerfield. That was a net loss, but we had to cover. Here's a problem. I had 4 trades left. I needed a forward. I couldn't get Dangerfield without trading Guthrie. I said that I'll go down to 1 to get Dangerfield, and then the week after we can go for whoever we want. We could get Guthrie back if he looks unreal. I don't think I will though. I can't go back. Could go Tom Stewart. Don't flame for this. I like Luke Dunstan's form. Dunstan's always had a high work ethic. It's just his disposal has been an issue, which is why I think they haven't played him. He's always scored well when he's played. So I think he's helping Jack Steele as well. But unfortunately, now we have a problem because the plan was we cash in Highmore. We can't trade Highmore now because we could use Bianco to cover, but I'd rather cover with the freed up intercepting mature age defender in Highmore than a second year midfielder who's playing half forward as cover. As you can see the difference in the scoring, especially the last 3 games or last 4 games, it'd be a pretty big difference. So Whitfield's out for 1. It sounds like he's better, but you never know. So I just rather hold Highmore now, and for the rest of the year, just in case. So yeah, looks like if you don't have Whitfield, you're laughing, but it's whatever. So yeah, defense was really, really good. The only problem is when Tom Stewart scores 130, we suffer. So that's, yeah. Other than that, Short was great with no Hooley. I think 70% ownership, so it's like whatever. Lloyd was good, took heaps of kickouts. Yeah, so May is probably due for a bad one, to be honest, but yeah. We could have looped Highmore. Highmore was 97, but Bramble scored 120, so we're looping those 2. And yeah, Bramble makes up for, let's just say it makes up for Gordon in round 1. So it doesn't make it sound like I'm a luck bot, but that's okay. Midfield, Jack Steele as always. He's 680k now. I wish he was that price 7-8 weeks ago, but that's okay. Very bad man, Jack Steele. Love watching him play so much. Was it this week where he went berserk in the 4th quarter? Kicked, what did he do? Kicked 2 goals or something? I can't remember. Had like 13 touches or something, 15 touches in the last quarter. I can't remember if that was this week or last week. Oh no, it was this week, yeah, because he went berserk. So yeah, he was really good. I love watching him play. I love watching him just... The best thing about watching Jack Steele is how hard he works up and down the ground. He just gets from... His work rate, contest to contest, is really, really good. What's interesting is earlier in the year he said, we're going to play finals this year. It's actually possible now, although Richmond and Giants are pretty much trying to give it to teams on a platter. But yeah, it's enough on that. McRae, fine. I don't even remember any of this. Oh yeah, Walsh was sick on the weekend. 158 from him. Merritt against Crows was really good. So Parrish got tagged. So Schoenberg tagged Parrish, and Parrish couldn't get near it. I think because of scaling helped him, because he got a lot of points early in the game. So that was interesting. Oliver is fine. Josh Kelly, we vice-captained. I don't know why we vice-captain Josh Kelly when we have Jack Steele and McRae going berserk every week. Yeah, we'll fix that. But I figured against Gold Coast, but I guess, I don't know. Expected a bit more from Josh Kelly, but that's okay. So he's been not a fail trade in, but he's given us, I think, 107, 108. Brayshaw 90. So if Brayshaw goes sub 110, our ranking hurts a little bit, even though we went up. And yeah, we had Bramble. So Bramble's our cover. Also have Bianco as cover if we needed, because we have 8 and 5 here. So trading in 8 and 5 a few weeks ago actually has worked out, even though we did it in the buy. So got flamed for that a little bit, especially Discord. Fielding 14 and trading in 5 trade of the year by George. I think that was a quote by somebody, but yeah, anyway, we can just put Bianco here and Bramble here, I guess, for now. The Rucks, so Grundy had a great second half. So I did watch this game, because honestly I haven't watched a whole lot of football the past 2 or 3 weeks, but on the Collingwood game, so we talked about De Goey on the podcast last week, and we were like, me and Anna, neither of us kind of watched De Goey, and then we were just thinking, we're not against it, but we're like, okay, the numbers are there, the role is there, so it's interesting, and the scope for, he's got the attributes and stuff for it, and he's got the preseason to back it up. But with De Goey, where was this earlier in the season? So I don't trust the De Goey pick. It doesn't. So yeah, I don't know why I'm talking about De Goey, but again, De Goey's shown he's never maintained this sort of form, so it doesn't make sense to me. But I guess I understand why you'd pick De Goey. So yeah, and then Gorn was fine. I can't remember. I don't remember. Zach Smith, of course, he doesn't play, so he gets concussed. Probably wouldn't have been dropped if he wasn't concussed. But yeah, that's highly embarrassing, having Chris Burgess as your preferred ruck, who's not a ruckman. So maybe he's played his last game, not sure. So F1, we panicked and brought in Dangerfield. The thing that I noticed with Dangerfield is that when I was watching him, his work rate was atrocious. He was forward of the ball all the time. Wasn't getting back to defensive stoppages, wasn't covering the ground well, wasn't chasing very well, but still, because he's Dangerfield, just needs that little bit of... He scores when he plays in the mid, so I'm just too good of a contested ball player. So yeah, I wouldn't panic if you don't have Dangerfield like I did last week when he went 180 and we're supposed to get him in, but Coleman Jones happened, so yeah. He looks like a 105 to 110 to me. It just maybe more. It just depends. I guess Giant they have a few more games at home, and I think Dangerfield he doesn't have to be Superman from now on, but we'll see. He's definitely got the ceiling to go bigger, but from what I saw a really poor work rate, but maybe that's a lack of preseason and preserving himself. Zeeble and Hall, Kangbros, great as usual. In the wet against the Eagles were pretty good. Dale was pretty good. His scoring is getting saved by kickouts, but that's the reason why we picked him. I can't remember anyone else taking kickouts. Maybe they did. I haven't checked it, but that's fine. Dusty, a little bit worried about, and this is, I know Short has no Hooley now, but I'm just worried about it's not an attack on his character or anything, because I love watching Jaden Short. Clearly a very hard worker on and off the field, but does the motivation for Richmond players, do they all just check out now, or they'll just lose? They can't beat anyone at the moment. So does that hurt Dusty? And yeah, again, when they're losing, that hurts the team Supercoach scoring points as well. So a little bit worried about Dusty, but he's highly owned, and you just want him to take the field. That's pretty much all I can ask. And then Tobias Green, I think he had 20 touches, 3 goals. but he absolutely butchered it because it was really windy. So when it was windy, he just missed everything. So even had a few like shots on goal that fell short, or I think he had 2 or 3 of them, and then they're just ineffective kicks or clangers, whatever they are. Depends where they land. But do I regret Toby Green? I think this would have been a lot better if they didn't wipe out all the home games for the Giants. But I guess Sydney players are in the same boat, so we'll see how he goes. 20 touches and 3 goals is a great sign, but he's just brought him in a month ago, I think, and 3 of the 4 teams he played were like bottom 6 or something. And we needed a little bit more from that fixture. So I think it's not as like playing Ballarat. Oh god, that's not good against the Swans. And then who they got next week? Essendon. I guess they're doing pretty well. I don't really trust GWS anyway. I don't know why I have 3 GWS players. Every year I'm like, no more GWS players, and then here we are. But yeah, anyway, trades for this week. So again, we're probably planning for Tom Stewart with Highmore money. Now we're stuck with, unless we want to wait a week, but I don't think we can loop Bramble. So do we field Bramble for a week and then get another player with Highmore? This is what I think we're going to do. And this is, so our 600k mid is going to turn into, I think it's going to turn into, okay, so this Collingwood player scored a few goals. I don't really care if he plays or not. Scored like 4 goals in the VFL or something. Got some DPP link. You'll see about that in a second. And then I think it's this guy who we've brought in our weekly reviews about, it must be at least 5 or 6 times. So Nick Hind is there. Nick Hind scores a lot better with Marvel at Marvel Stadium. I think he has 4 of the last 6 at Marvel. I think. I'll double check that. So yeah, someone brought that up on like a Big Footy thread, I think. So that was good. Danger will go mid. So this actually, what this does is it makes us very weak at M8 because everyone else has like a Tom Mitchell or Tom Mitchell's not M8 anymore. Maybe like a Josh Kelly even at M8. So yeah, it makes us so weak. It's probably that's like negative 30, or like Toby Green compared to a mid, that could be 100 points in 1 week. Might be more or less, but or less, but this is how it is. So what Nick Hind does is, first of all, we get a player that we've been meaning to get in for a long time. Probably one of my better calls this year is hyping up Nick Hind, even though I never got him. But what it does is Dangerfield can cover the forward line because we have 1 trade now, which is super dangerous. I think this is a smart play, even though it's conservative play, but it's just trying to make the most of a hole we dug ourselves into. So. Should we have traded Guthrie? I was mad. I wanted a rage trade. Is that how you play? Is that how you play a game and set an example? Not really, but I was just worried that if I was going to use 3 trades on Dangerfield and then still have Guthrie, I was a little worried about Guthrie. Just because he just looked awful the week before, just sat on the bench for long periods. But he's fine. I guess when that sort of thing happens, you always hold it, and usually comes good. So, just like Shea Bolton the other week, like 60% TOG, now it's like back to 80 or whatever it is. So that's the video for this week. Thanks for watching. That's the team. That's the team finished. Pretty clapped, to be honest, but no Bont, no Mills, no Stewart, no Zorko. Hopefully we see some regression from Zorko. Maybe Bont. Bont plays Gold Coast this week. Yeah, I think that's like McRae's favourite team. Probably Vice Captain McRae. And then we'll go Grundy into Pitney maybe. Steele into Port. I like Steele into Port. It'll be McRae, Steele, or Grundy. We'll figure something out there. Not gonna do Gawn anymore for now. Oliver should match up well against Hawthorn, but Oliver's hasn't been super captain worthy the last few weeks. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.